and welcome. I'm Kate Fitzgerald with Brilliant Life Community. I'm speaking with Nicole Arnold, occupational therapist at the Minnesota Department of Human Services. Nicole, thank you for agreeing to join me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Can you tell me who your clients are?
Sure. So a bit about the people or kids I serve. They are kids that have been in multiple placements before. And so typically kids that have been through really tough things. High percentage of our kids have been through something traumatic. So whether it be a one-time thing or chronic stress, a lot of our kids have been taken from their home and have been either adopted or in foster care. So that's a little bit of the context of their generally the kids that end up in our place. But what we are is we're an inpatient psychiatric unit. So since I've been here, the youngest kid I've served is 5 years old, and we go up to 18. And so, like I said, these are kids that have been multiple placements before here. They have needed a longer stay. They have more complex needs, more complex things going on. And so our length of stay kind of varies, but we're often seeing our kids for 30, 60, 90, multiple months, which allows us to dive kind of deeper into what's going on with them and systems that they're in.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What are your areas of specialty?
So occupational therapist, and I have worked in adult mental health for the last 9 years. And so as I was working in mental health, I started my career again working for the state, and I was working in St. Peter, which is a state-run hospital that is for people that have found themselves in a really tough place. They've committed some sort of crime, and they've found it done kind of due to their mental illness. And so that's where I started. And I really started to see there was a lot more going on with their body. And I like to think of that as like starting to just see the trauma. And so I was a new grad at that point, and so I wanted to work somewhere where I was working around more OTs, and so I worked at Regions Hospital, which has an excellent team of mental health OT. Got mentored by some OTs that were focusing more on trauma. So I started some trainings in a few different areas that were more body-based. So I have started the somatic experiencing training, completed year 1, and I've been able to incorporate it in a general sense. I'd like to someday finish that. And then I went on to get my yoga teacher license. So a lot of my areas have been around body-based treatment modalities for people in mental health. I would say I do use some Qigong. I've studied some Qigong too. Reiki, I consider like some energy work in this treatment I offer. As an OT, I use our models that are around thinking about the person, their environment, and their occupation. And then also what's called the MOHO model. So thinking a lot about what motivates people and what's their roles, what's their purpose, and really helping people to get in tune with that. I would say I use a lot of motivational interviewing, just really pulling from the person what's important to them, what's organic to their being. And I include a lot of say spirituality, helping people to find that in themselves, because that's something I've really learned from people that have gone through really hard things is it kind of breaks them open, and you can kind of see that in a way that that's how like the light gets in, or that's how they find the depths of themselves. So
the way you put that.
yeah, thanks.
What do you think sets you apart?
I think most importantly, I just try to be a human being to the people I work with. See each other in this like, I'm human, you're human, and because a lot of times kids are people that get to the point where they're being hospitalized, really intense things to get there, and so just to really have that compassion that if I was in the same place, if I was faced with all the things you've been faced with, I would probably be fighting and defying everything around me too. And so I just really have a heart for that. So it's that balance of having a heart for it, but also like having this brain that wants to research and find the best way to help them heal so that they can have a functional, productive, meaningful life.
Great.
Another thing that I learned through somatic experiencing is about co-regulation. And so learned a lot about the nervous system through somatic experiencing. And so it was like I got to put words to what I could already feel. I was noticing that just by being a presence in people's like space could be calming to them. And so what I learned through that program is that it's a real thing. Our biorhythms are really regulating off of each other. And so if I come in to work with someone and I'm settled myself, my nervous system is regulated, I've got a calm heart rate, I'm breathing nice and deep, that's going to help that person. And so that's been really important to me, is to do enough self-care so that when I show up to work with another being, can provide that. And so that's been something really important to me as I work in the system, is to help other people learn self-care, because we work in a really tough field. And so we've got to be doing that work so that we can show up in that way.
What brought you to working with children after working with adults?
Yeah, great question. So when I was working with adults, I really, when you look at it from that trauma kind of focus, I was seeing young nervous systems kind of trapped in an adult body. So I really felt like when I was working with the adults, I was trying to kind of work with them as a kid, like have them have experiences that they didn't get to have as a kid, feel safety with another person. And so I really enjoyed that, but there's just a part of me that kept thinking about, what if I could have worked with this person earlier? And psychiatrist, Daniel Siegel, he has a few books out. One of them's Brainstorm, and he goes into a lot about the brain from, I think it's about 16 to 25, and how much it's forming and molding and how quickly it can change. And so that's something that I just thought about every day. And I actually had a quote up at my desk at Regents that said, never give up on something you think about every day. And so I was really like, I need to work with kids at some point. And there was just kind of this serendipitous synchronicity that this job working for the state came up. It was a new OT position. We're actually in a brand new building. The state of Minnesota has decided that it's very important that we have this safety net for kids. We take kids from all over the state. We're the only level of care. And so they invested a lot of money to build a building that's unique for kids. So I decided to come on out and move to the country and take on this adventure. And I love it. It's really fun. Yeah.
How are you working with clients during the quarantine?
Yeah, so we actually are, because we are still in the old building, we haven't moved to the new building. We only have 5 kids right now. And so we have just been taking more precautions, cleaning and keeping space with the kids. And because I'm in a room right now with no one else in it, I don't have my mask on, but I would typically have this on. But otherwise, we've kind of kept on schedule and trying to keep the things as normal as possible for kids. That's a huge thing in our programming is consistency and predictability. So I feel pretty fortunate that we've been able to just keep on track with our groups. So as an occupational therapist, I do a combination of providing groups for the kids, and the OT groups tend to be more hands-on and movement, body-based, and then working with kids one-to-one. And so interesting because our kids are facility for so long, and because they come from all over the state, they kind of do get disconnected from the community or the world and people. And so there hasn't been a huge change for them as this is all unfolded. I see it as other people that are being quarantined to their home maybe get that sense of what our kids go through, like where you can't go anywhere and how much that really impacts their mental health. Mm-hmm.
Do you have clients on the autism spectrum?
We have had some. So we work with kids and teens that have a primary diagnosis of mental health diagnosis. And so sometimes, yeah, they do have that.
Okay. Are there additional or different therapies or that you would use?
Yeah. We work really hard to be really person-centered. So we try to make the program work for them. So sometimes the group setting isn't conducive for them or helpful in what they need. And so sometimes we'll make more of like an individualized program for them. Say we use sensory approaches with almost all of our kids, but maybe we use them even more for someone that is on the autism spectrum.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any articles or blogs you'd like to share with us or provide a link to anything in particular that you like and would like our audience to consider? I did write down Daniel Siegel. That book sounds interesting, so we'll definitely include that.
Yeah, that one's great. I've referred to somatic experiencing a couple times. That would be one. Any books by Peter Levine are good. I had mentioned Qigong, and so the kind I studied was Spring Forest Qigong, which is in Minnesota and Bloomington. The yoga teacher training I went through is called Soma Yoga, S-O-M-A. Really beautiful fit for pain, as it's helping to kind of settle the nervous system again and help to rewire patterns in the body and to become more conscious of muscles that have been stuck in tension. So that's been fascinating to learn about. They're the ones that come to mind.
Okay, great. Let's see, is there anything else that you think that our audience should know about what you do?
I think what makes OT unique in this mental health setting is that we're very holistic in how we view the person, and so we always come back to like what is giving this person a sense of belonging and what's giving them purpose, and then kind of build off of there. Do they need to find skills to do that, or do they have to build self-esteem? And then also just incorporating a lot of building resilience in their nervous system. And so a lot of the groups I lead is doing that. I guess another one I didn't mention that I use a lot of is the zones of regulation. So that's a program that really looks at regulation and how we're in different states throughout the day and how there's zones that are good for different functioning. But a lot of what I'm doing is helping to kind of rev the kids up a little bit, maybe have some fun or have some excitement, maybe feel some of that anxiety, and then do something that helps bring you back down into more of a focused, calm state. Or even like dip down low into like really relaxed and calm without shutting down, and then bring yourself back up. because what we know about the nervous system from trauma is that it will rev up into fight or flight, and it can get stuck there. And so just helping them to kind of titrate and have a little bit of that and come back down so they can remain more functional. So I would say I incorporate a lot of that in what I do, and just by finding meaning and purpose, a lot of like hands-on crafts and tasks and ways they can occupy their time in a meaningful way. And then, like I mentioned, just providing that co-regulation, having them experience another safe adult.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Nicole, thank you for your time today. We
Yeah.
appreciate all the good work you're doing in our community.
Yeah.
Look forward to speaking with you again, down the road.
Yeah, for sure.
Out to you for another invite, see what other exciting things are happening.
Yeah. There's much more to come as we move into this new building and try to be really innovative and different with how we help these kids heal.
Great. All right. Well, you have a great day, and I thank you again so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.